Oh, Achitamaklo sitting in for Fentio Tahiru Fentio, who's joining us in a moment. He's on a sensitive diplomatic mission, and so he'll be in the studio in a moment. Daniel Cranton is already seated. Sichu Patrim Philip is joining us on Zoom. Muftar Nabil Abdullah is going to be in the studio in a moment. And joining us from his base in Morocco, Lawrence Beidou is also going to join us as we look ahead to the Black Queens game and their performance at the tournament in general. For one last time, a conversation from Morocco about the Black Queens of Ghana. Daniel, good afternoon. How are you doing? I can't hear you. Speak to me again and let me see if this time.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Super fantastic.
Yes. So today we'll talk about quite a bit. As I teased in my intro, we're going to look at the Isak situation, or Alexander Isak situation. As we're told, he's not part of the Newcastle United preseason tour for now. The club has said he will definitely join at some point before that preseason tour is over. In North London, a couple of hours ago, we had confirmation that Arsenal have received written approval for them to proceed with the signing of Victor Gyökeres, and so his medical should be done any moment from now, or should begin any moment from now. Marcus Rashford is also settling into his base at FC Barcelona. We'll look at all of those, but first, let's set the lines and head to Morocco and speak to Lawrence Beidou. Lawrence, good afternoon and welcome. What time is it in Morocco?
It's currently 2:28 here in Morocco, actually.
Okay, so you guys are just an hour ahead of us. Now, talk to us about, first of all, the sports minister, the interview that you did with him, right? We'll come to part of what he said at the end of my conversation with you. But he said a number of things about investing in the women's game and all of those things. What has been his interaction with the team? And crucially, though, I'm interested in the money that we're told the team was owed. Something to do with the outstanding bonuses. Has any of those situations been rectified?
Yeah, as part of our conversation with the minister yesterday, he mentioned the fact that no player or no arrears are owed the girls as since then. And then the last batch of per diems supposed to come in today when the accountants to the ministry arrives. I'm sure she's already, or the person has already arrived in, because the Air Maroc actually leaves quite early. So that accountant should be in camp by now, and whatever per diem he was talking about yesterday should have gotten to the girls. I think the only thing that is owed them is the fact their qualification bonus. As we know from the Jamaica Commission's recommendation, those bonuses are not paid in cash or in camp. They are actually given to them when they return home, and then they are given to them in check. And the last time we spoke to the team, or some people related to the team, they mentioned the fact that the minister has asked them to take the correct.
Lawrence, it's very difficult to hear what you're saying, especially the last part, especially the part to do with the minister. Lawrence, can you hear me?
Name check and all of it. So
Lawrence?
you don't want to repeat such
Okay.
mistakes again.
Hello, Lawrence? Lawrence, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Actually?
We lost you for a bit.
Yeah,
After you explained the reason they have not received their qualification bonus, in consonance with what the Jamaica Commission reports had said, you were talking about what the minister also said to the team, and we didn't hear anything again. What did the minister say? And if you could rehash the points about the Jamaica Commission's report and how it affects disbursement of bonuses in this situation.
Those qualification bonuses are not expected to be paid in cash as recommended by the Jamaica Commission. So the minister spoke to them. He's made them know that their checks are ready anytime they come to Ghana. He asked Mr. Alex Asante to take the correct details of the players, because the last time they tried and had a few issues with their names spelling of some of the girls, so they don't want to repeat same mistakes again. They are trying to avoid that. So the correct details are being collected so that as soon as they get to Ghana, those checks will be handed over to them. In his communication with the team, he's made them know that he's very proud of everything that they have achieved, because it's not easy to come into this competition, especially having been here since 2018, and then to get the opportunity to come in and then finally play in the semi-final stage and settle for maybe a third place. Take a bronze medal. It's something that he's proud of, each and every one of them, and he's encouraging them to go on and fight for that bronze medal.
Right. He also spoke about the need for investment into women's football, and he tried to draw comparisons between what Nigeria has done, what South Africa, and then he mentioned Morocco as well. Did you get the sense that we're going to have anything significant at the end of this trip from the sports ministry as far as their approach towards women's football is concerned?
Actually, I don't think we are far away from getting anything significant from the ministry. Look, yesterday where the Black Queens trained was the Raja Club Athletic Academic facilities, and if you go through, I had a fair share of the facility because I went around, toured a bit of the environment. So there were, I think, about 3 or 4 different pitches at the academy alone. So he looked at it and he felt like, something needs to be done, because look at the investments they are doing. And it's not just the investment, they are reaping the results of the investment they are making. He mentioned South Africa because look at the performances of the South African teams, especially the women's and then the men's team when they come onto the CAF Champions League competitions. So it's something that he's willing to take a cue from. If only funds will be made available, if only they will stay true to the investment that he keeps talking about. I mean, we could be heading towards a positive investment. He talked about the story of Faith Ladies who won the FA Cup and got relegated. Look, he said he listened to the story and he felt that there's the need for the ministry to do more to help some of these clubs, because some have, quite a fair plan. Is about the money or the finances that they are not helping to build themselves up to get to the level that they want to do. So it's a conversation on their table. It mentions about the sports development fund, which is almost ready to be sent to Parliament to be passed. So all of these are considerations that he's making to ensure that women's football development or sports in general in Ghana is progressed. Or one thing I don't know if you saw, there was a story I did about the recreational facilities of Morocco when I got here. And those are the things that the ministry or the minister is also looking at, because look, every 15 or 20 minutes to drive from you see a recreational facility. You see basketball courts, you see skating courts, you see football pitch, you see, playgrounds for children, and you have parents actually bringing their awards in there to sit down, watch them play, and then after that they take them home. These are investments, and these are things that Moroccans are not taking lightly. And to be honest, that facility, I even have an invitation to go and tour their complex, which we will term as the Pram version. But I'm yet to go there. Actually, these are investments that they are making to ensure that they develop the sport.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I might probably do that, and I will stay here.
I'm not surprised that you are impressed. Ghana here, if you drive every 15 minutes, it's concrete that you will see, not recreational facilities. But Lawrence, before you go, let's talk about the team itself. The Black Queens have done very well. As far as I'm concerned, they have exceeded expectations. A first semi-final appearance in 9 years, and the manner in which they've done it, given everything the team has been through, has been pretty impressive. But on the manager himself, Kim Lassie-Yoke Grindo, what has been his reaction to that semi-final defeat since then?
If you've listened to Kim since that game against Morocco, what he kept talking about is the fact that there was quality in his team, or there is quality in his team. The only thing he feels did them damage was the fact that they were not able to convert their chances, and also the fatigue level. That's something that he's been very consistent about. The fatigue level. He feels if the team had enough rest before the game against Morocco, they go all out and then perhaps get the best of results that this tournament would have presented to them. Look, forget about whatever the scoreline would have been, but he feels that they could have snatched a win away from Morocco. He keeps mentioning about that first half performance, and he gives it his assertion that look, that is the best of football he's seen in this tournament from his team. And I'm not surprised, because that first half had Ghana playing everything. And for a moment, it was almost as if Ghana was the home team. Aside the fact that the fans were intimidating them, it was almost as if we were the better team. We were the host nation, and I don't know what went wrong. I thought, as you can see, fatigue level dropped, setting at the 67-minute level, and they were unable to do anything again, which saw them suffer their painful defeat against Morocco.
Now, finally, though, on the game itself today, do you get the sense that there is still that energy, that enthusiasm to go out there and especially get a revenge against South Africa today?
I mean, from the press conference yesterday, he mentions that, look, he's watching from the game, the very first game they played against South Africa till now, it feels we have been a better team as compared to them. Because you look at the progress of the team from every stage of the competition to another. I think that has been the motivation. If you talk to the players, they are looking at bringing a medal home because, look, the expectation wasn't high. If they've been able to reach this stage and Ghanaians have been rooting for them, then there's a sense to bring something home. There's a sense to actually make sure that they arrive at the Ekitike International Airport with cheers and then with Ghanaians knowing that they've actually been able to get their hands on a medal on a podium finish for the very first time since 2016.
All right. Thank you very much, Lawrence Beidou. I know you're about to catch a train, so we would leave that here and continue.
Actually, before I go, tell Danny, the number never dropped.
Danny, Lawrence says the number never dropped. Lawrence, did you hear him? He says you should finish the work after today's game. The number.
Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball.
That was Sicho. But Lawrence, thank you so much. We'll definitely make sure that Daniel sends the number because that side is also important. Before
Papa, I'll sort you, my brother. Quick.
All right, so that was Lawrence Beidou from his base in Morocco. We'll be bringing you a live commentary of that game on Joy 99.7 FM and on Hits 103.9 FM tonight. Game kicks off at 7 p.m. And so we'll be bringing you that. Sit up, Achim Philip. Aha, nice one. Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. This guy.
Charlie, this guy.
See,
Charlie, I'm enjoying your new virtual studio. See the way they brand me from my bag then to your new virtual studio with
I can't see you. I'm flying blind. I can't see you. So
Oh,
maybe Jojo needs to do
like-
something so that we see. Want to see Sicho? Want to see Sicho's new virtual?
Charlie, let me see my brothers.
Yes, we need to see Sicho's new virtual studio. You know, yeah.
Oh, it's the virtual studio of the studio.
Oh right.
Of
right.
the game plan virtual studio.
Right. So yes, Jojo is touching things so that gets sorted. While he does that, Sicho, let's talk about the Black Queens of Ghana. Not many expected them.
We have
to
seen
make
him.
it
We have seen
this
him.
far. Oh, nice one. Not many expected the Queens to make it this far, but they've made the semis. They have earned $300,000, and if they win tonight, they get an additional $50,000. But from what you have seen of the team and your knowledge of the issues that preceded this tournament, what do you make of the performance and where they have gotten to?
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess fantastic. Look, as for the girls, let's face it. When they were going into the competition, we many of us didn't think they were semi-finalists. You know, considering the teams that were the top teams.
Yeah.
You know, you're expecting Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, all these teams, Morocco. Even Algeria, because Algeria, you know, even though they have not been here for a long time, coming to the competition, they were not conceding goals, they are a strong unit, and some other teams. So, and because the girls have recently not done it, there were always doubts about the girls. We always knew that they have quality in them. We just didn't know that as a team, they could put together a fight to go this deep. So, for me, the girls reaching the semis and having a chance to play for bronze. Look, let's be honest. Sometimes, we are Ghana. We be Ghana. But sometimes, if we accept our level at some point, then we can appreciate some achievements. Because I consider this campaign a success. Success is not always lifting the ultimate. Success can be defined by how far you can go, depending upon where you were in terms of level. And I think that Ghana wasn't top 4 teams going to the competition. So for them to break into that top 4 in itself is a success. And we know this team is quite young. We know that the team doesn't have fast pool of talented players across the 24 or 23. So that has to improve so that the manager can trust a lot more of players. But ultimately, for me, listen, at you and for all Ghanaians, these girls and what they've gone on to do in Morocco deserves nothing shy of massive commendation, because they punch way above their weight, they punch way above their levels. And even in the game that they got knocked out, they lost in the semi, they were right in there. It wasn't as if they were outplayed, they were lucky to go into the extra time. Many can argue that they were unlucky to have gone into penalty shootout, because for the large part of the game in that first half, the better opportunities fell to the Stars. And even when Morocco were dominating in those spells in the second half and at times in extra time, they barely created anything against the Queens. So for me, listen, massive credit to them. We can build on this and get better. Let's not go to sleep. Let's build on this and get a lot better.
Okay. Now, Daniel, there are some who have, I think it's a harsh assessment of the team, who have said that the manner in which they lost it, given how close they came to making the final, is a tad disappointing. Is that fair?
If you are looking in context of the Morocco game, yes, I think we did enough to win. I think the coaching was on point. It managed the team very well and got the best out of the team in
that circumstance.
Yeah, in that circumstance, and in periods where you'd have expected Ghana to go out and do the do. But unfortunately, we just couldn't execute the chances. It's not the coach's fault that players are missing from point blank range. It's not the coach's fault that some can't hit the target when the average player will hit the target. So those are some of the things that coaches cannot control. But again, when you also go on the playing side, you also can understand some of these things. Now they talk to you, they post for picture. This guy, man,
it's part of the job.
It's cool. See, to look away, you won't see it.
Karim, tell me how you get my picture. Charlie, take me picture.
Virtual picture. We'll take a virtual picture.
But again, look, when it comes also to the playing point of view, you can understand why some of the players made certain decisions. I said, look, this is the highest level they've ever played in. Some of the players in the squad, I think only 2 players have played in an AFCON and WAFCON before.
4 have been to 2 have played.
2 have played.
Portia and
Sharifa, yeah.
Sharifa.
So it's a largely inexperienced team, and sometimes when you reach a stage like that, considering the fact also that they were playing against a host nation, they were playing in front of a packed stadium at the WAFCON for the first time. It's some of these things can happen, and you can experience some jitters, and they can affect your play, and that's what we saw. Unfortunately, they went out on penalties, but as Sicho said, it's we have this, and it's good from the fan point of view. We have this arrogance when it comes to our national team, like we are Ghana.
We are Ghana.
To borrow Capito's words, we are Ghana. But context is also very important. The Black Queens have not been consistent on the continental and world level since that period between 1999 and 2007 has passed. Even the team that was reaching the WAFCON semi-final, that 2016 team, they couldn't qualify for the World Cup.
It was once in 10 years.
Yeah, it happened. It was just a one-off, and when they went to the World Cup qualifier, they couldn't qualify. So some way, like it's we've been poor at the senior level, whether we like it or not. 2018, we went out group stages in a competition we hosted, and that was just 2 years after reaching a WAFCON semi-final.
Yeah.
So there's been a significant decline, and for a team to miss out on the competition, finish in the group stages, the following edition miss out on qualification, fail to qualify for the World Cup, fail to qualify for the Olympics, come back for the first time in years and reach a semi-final, and the manner in which that semi-final went, how close it was, ended up on penalties. On the face of things, chances created, Ghana deserved to win in terms of the clarity of the chances they created. You can give them a pass, and as Citra said, the bottom line is they need to build on this. Yeah. It's something that we need to look at, and it's a relatively young, inexperienced group. They've got some experience under their belt. We can build on this. There's an AFCON in what? Is it next year or 2 years?
Yeah.
Which will qualify the
next year.
Which will serve as also in Morocco, which will serve as qualification for the World Cup. We build on this, and now we've seen our level. we can tell that this team can compete with the best in the continent. We stood toe to toe with Morocco in their home ground and we took them to penalty. We should have won. We stood toe to toe with Algeria. We beat them. We've gone to a semi-final. In fact, today we are playing third and fourth, which I think we can also we can win if
and the team has really been tested because in one tournament they've come up against the defending champions South Africa in the group stage, and then the runners-up Morocco themselves of the last tournament. So you'd have to say that they have performed creditable. Game plan is probably brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams and bets we get way more. Now, Muftau, just to finish on this conversation, Lawrence indicated that the minister in his meeting, so a lot of the things he said to Lawrence in that interview was because after his tour of the with that
facilities,
academy's facility, not the main team, the academy. After seeing it, he said he told the Queens that the sports development fund is in the works and that there is going to be money available and all of that. Yes, he has said it, but the significance for me has to be in actioning those words.
Achu, I don't want to sound like a pessimist, right? But this conversation, we've had it 1,001 times. The former deputy sports minister, Evans Bobie, when he went to Morocco, what did he do?
He went to cry.
He saw the facilities, came back and said, "Hey, you're waiting
but why did why did he cry? Like,
I
know, but I'm saying that why would you see nice facilities and start crying? Like
gimmicks.
You see, Achu,
Setting.
this is a country where we speak.
If you want to move people, then you start crying.
Yeah, we
If
are
we-
really
no,
emotional.
We talk more than we act.
Then we have to rescue our country. Then Bobby, across both parties,
Mustafa is a good friend, so give him.
but then Mustafa Hamid.
Oh, you want to rescue this country. What's wrong with it?
He was the one.
Why are you going through the corners? Just say it direct.
No, you see, when you said Mustafa, my mind went to Yusuf.
I'm trying to Mustafa Hamid.
Yeah, he said it.
Wallahi.
But I've mentioned
And
it.
after the time he said that he was the spokesperson of the former president,
Yeah.
Nana Akufo-Addo. Why he said, wallahi, we have to rescue this country. They came to rescue us.
The difference is that the other two people who cried, they did it while in office. Every year,
It's okay. Okay.
And then Bobby.
Now let's talk about whether the government has got a certain level of commitment to ensure that the facilities that our sports minister, Kofi Adam, has seen, there's actually the possibility of government deciding to do something similar, even if we don't have the resources to do everything. This thing of a sports fund, I remember I was privileged to be invited by the former sports minister, Isaac Isiama, to be part of a certain group of journalists who met to discuss the sports fund. When they had another consultative meeting at the Accra International Conference Center, I was privileged to have been part again to cover it. It's been what? 8 years? We are still talking about a fund that is supposed to be the main source of money for our sporting activities in this country. Still in the works after 8 years. Therefore, if you gave birth to a child 8 years ago, that child,
knew.
Uncle Wenyi, by this time, that child is either in primary 1 or primary 2 or primary 3. 8 years, we've not been able to get a sports fund through parliament to be approved. That will become the dedicated source of funding for our sporting activities. As I mentioned, I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but the point is that you've seen them, you will enjoy them, you will come back. Within a minute or two, you will forget. That is who we are.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping that Kofi Adams will be a bit different from the previous people that we have seen, because they know what actually we all need for the success of our sports in this country. But they often turn a blind eye for whatever reason. Or maybe sometimes their hands are tied. Maybe you want to do it, but because the financier feels that, okay, let's channel the money or the resources somewhere for something better. See, Achu, we'll come back years later to have this conversation, maybe about a sports fund or about basic sporting facilities that we need for No, in fact, what did he say? Widaka, go to Right to Dream. You can imagine someone from the UK came down here, had a vision. That person was able to set up an academy, which is now selling players for. In fact, players it has produced can now be sold for about 50+ million pounds. Their academy, someone bought shares of about 100 million pounds from that academy. But we've sat here. That gentleman came in 1999. 25 years later, see what he has been able to produce. Why haven't a single Ghanaian been able to even do something that can even compete with Right to Dream Academy? Is it that sometimes we feel, in fact, and we've had football administrators in this country.
Yeah.
Some of them actually became extremely poor because they channeled all their resources into football, and in the end, nothing came back to them. Do we actually have proper planning in terms of what we want to achieve?
Question.
If we do, then probably we should have been somewhere long ago when Tom Vernon started Right to Dream Academy. Now his players dominate our national team. It is because he had a vision. Our government, those who pay with our taxes, we go to the polls, queue, elect them to take decisions for us. Do they actually have the vision for the country?
We'll talk more about the local football matters when we return shortly, because there is yesterday the FA president Ekitike had cause to call some reports as lies. We'll look at that matter and what has become of the Ghana Premier League's broadcast rights and the GFA's plan to make the Ghana Premier League and its football competitions accessible to football fans in the country. But Betway's Crash and Win promo is back with the bang. It's a whopping 9 million Ghana cedis prize range from cash, free spins, free flights, and more. All of that are for grabs from the 1st to the 31st of July. We've got just 6 days to the end of the month. So you need to take part of this by simply logging on to Betway, bet on sports or casino, and you'll get your daily scratch card. From there, it's just scratch, match, and win, with every day being another chance to strike it lucky. Only at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. Betway. Get way more. Hello Ghana, remember the excitement, the dreams we feel together? For 10 incredible years, Petrosol Platinum Energy celebrated with you in the Energizing Dreams promo. We poured joy into your journeys, rewarded your loyalty, and shared in your aspirations. But as the sun rises on a new day, so too does a new chapter for Petrosol Platinum Energy. So while the anniversary celebrations have concluded, our promise remains unwavering. That is to be your trusted partner on every road in your endeavor. Petrosol Platinum Energy is a triple ISO certified, multiple award winning energy provider with over 100 stations nationwide. We continue to deliver the quality fuels and lubricants you depend on. We are committed to energizing your dreams, fueling your progress, and powering Ghana's growth. Our tagline says it all. Petrosol, energizing dreams. It's not just a slogan, it's our enduring commitment to you. And that's why you need to visit any of our 100 stations across Ghana and experience the Petrosol difference. Quality you can trust, service you can rely on. Petrosol Platinum Energy, still energizing your dreams today and always. Now, Electroland Ghana is providing the huge savings ahead of the Electroland Media Clearance Bazaar. So Samsung, TCL, Media, NASCO products are all on massive discounts. So from the 31st of July to August 3rd, from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. daily, the Spintex near the Coca-Cola roundabouts. There will be LED TVs from 799 Ghana cedis. Yes, you heard right. 799 Ghana cedis for LED TVs. Refrigerators from 1,200 Ghana cedis. Washing machines from 1,199 cedis. Plus so much more. And that's why you need to make your choice from a mix of brand new display and even scratch and dent items, all with warranty still applied. It's the Fala discount you've been waiting for. Electroland Media Clearance Bazaar, T's and T's apply. Spintex Road near Coca-Cola Roundabout is where it's happening. Call us on 0503 159 739. 0503 159 739, and make sure you don't miss out. It's 56 minutes gone past 1 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Game Plan. We'll take a short breather. When we return, we'll talk about start times and the Ghana Football Association, who lied, and also get into the world of transfers.
Every day from 1st to 31st of July, Betway is giving you the chance to strike it lucky and win a share of 9 million Ghana cedis in prizes in Scratch and Win. Place any bet on sports or casino and earn your daily scratch card for a chance at cash, spins, free flights, and more. Exclusively at Betway. Get way more at betway.com.gh today. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Get way more.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's getting closer and closer. Yes, the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament at the University of Ghana Stadium on Saturday, August 9, 2025 is getting closer. So, have you called Sleven already? Well, if you haven't, this is the time to do so. So, are you a vibrant corporate brand here in Ghana? Well, you just call Sleven on 0540 106466 to register and be a part of this amazing experience full of great competition and wonderful networking. And this sure is going to be an amazing piece of corporate sporting action. The Joy Sports Invitational Tournament is put together by Joy Sports, the thrill of the game. I'm still asking that very big question. Which trophies are you taking back to the office? The CEO's penalty shootout, male soccer, female penalty shootout, unisex relay, unisex basketball, tug of peace, arm wrestling, lime and spoon relay, and swimming. Well, the ball is in your court. So now it's a must. Yes, you have to answer the roll call at the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament on August 9, 2025 at the University of Ghana Stadium. The Joy Sports Invitational Tournament is sponsored by Royal Suite Limited, Akono Ginger, Ifiwara, Ayuda, Ghana's leading services app, Abaco Services Bibre, Game Energy Drink, Feel the Energy, Yomi Yogurt, a nourishing choice, and the luckiest, star 712#, luck is everywhere. The Joy Sports Invitational Tournament is put together by Joy Sports, the thrill of the game.
Every day from 1st to 31st of July, Betway is giving you the chance to strike it lucky and win a share of 9 million Ghana cedis in prizes in Scratch and Win. Place any bet on sports or casino and earn your daily scratch card for a chance at cash, spins, free flights, and more. Exclusively at Betway. Get way more at betway.com.gh today. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Get way more.
Welcome back to Joy 99.7 FM. This is Game Plan. My name is Victor Chitamaklo. Sichope is here. Daniel Kranti is here. Muftal Nabila Abdullah is here. We've heard from Lawrence Beidu. Fentio Tahir is on his way to the studio. But before we get back to the conversations inside the studio, let me remind you that in every community, the skyline is dotted with uncompleted buildings. Some of them are the foundation stage, others at lintel or roofing level. Each has its unique story, a dream, a home in the making. Because home ownership remains one of humanity's greatest desires. So wherever you are on this journey, whether you are breaking ground, building up, or simply furnishing your space, the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is designed with you in mind. And that's why you need to join us on Friday, that's today, July 25, through to Sunday, July 27, the EcoBank branch Tema Community 7 traffic lights along the KFC route for the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair second clinic 2025. So let's help turn your home ownership dream into a lived reality. The Joy News Habitat Fair is powered by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, Virtual Security Africa, Security for All, Safety and Home Solutions. You think of a door, we have it. Superlock Technologies Limited, you deserve the best. DPS Pipes, connecting you to life. Elegant Homes and General Construction Limited, where quality meets value. Gold Key Properties, transforming the landscape. Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app. Special Gardens, Memorable Living. DBS Industries Limited, we truly are your roof experts. Doormasters, the best indoors. Leash Fortune Limited, unleashing luxury with perfection, one space at a time. LandlordAfrica.com, bringing the real estate industry to your doorstep. The Builders Markets, bathroom, get it right. Right House Energy Limited, let's build smarter energy together. Masters in solar installation. Syntex Tank, are you strong? Are you tough? Animation Ghana, West Africa's choice for solutions. Interplast, we make sure water reaches you even in space. Yoben Security, doors protecting lives and properties. Clifton Homes, beautiful homes, wise investments, and Western Villas, where dream meets reality. We face real challenges every day in Ghana, from high rent prices, housing challenges, expensive food, traffic that drains our pockets and reduces our life dependency, and rising electricity bills. But what if I told you that these problems are all interconnected and that there are sustainable solutions that can actually save you money and improve your life? In August, the Joy Sustainability Month focuses on solutions to some of our key sustainability issues. And so for 4 weeks, we're diving deep into the issues that matter to your daily life. We'll explore how you can still afford to own a home in Ghana, why your food costs so much and what you can do about it, how to cut your transport costs, and practical ways to power your home, among others. And that's why it's important that every weekday you join our expert conversations on the Super Morning Show and other programs. That is not just talk, it's about real solutions for real Ghanaians facing real-time problems, because sustainability isn't about the environment, it's about sustaining your wallet, your family's future, and Ghana's prosperity. It's starting on the 4th of August, and so make sure you tune in to Joy 99.7 FM, the Super Morning Show especially, and all other programs, because your sustainable future starts with the right conversations. The Joy Sustainability Month is brought to you by Joy Business and supported by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us. Betway Scratch and Win is back with a bang, a whooping 9 million Ghana cedis prizes ranging from cash, free spins, free flights, and more. All of that up for grabs from the 1st to the 31st of July. We've got just some 6 days or 7 to go to the end of this promo. And so you need to log into betway.com and bet on sports or casino, and you get your daily scratch card. From there, you just scratch, match, and win, with every day being another chance to strike it lucky. Only at betway.com.gh today. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. Betway, get way more. It's 5 minutes gone past 2 p.m. This is where we resume our conversations. And I'm going to start with you, Muftal. Yesterday, StarTimes said that they had reached a 5-year agreement pending the signing of documents for them to return as broadcast partners. The Ghana Football Association president, Ketu Kweku, took to social media to describe the reportage as lies. What do we know about this story?
Okay, I think it would have been perfect. We started with Sicho, because Sicho, those are his people now. He was crisscrossing the country with them, so maybe he will be better placed. But okay, so you and I have even had conversations about the negotiations that were happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
As the FA were hoping to get them back, because the people who were providing the broadcast of the Ghana Premier League, many people actually felt that the standard was too low. Members of the FA were complaining. People were wondering why their matches were being recorded and they were not told anything. So the FA thought it wise that, okay, why not have an agreement with Star Times, let them come back as broadcast right holders of this competition. But before that, Star Times, per the FA, or per information available from sources within the FA, owes them about $950,000, or is it $980,000? Per sources within Star Times, it is not up. It's about $800,000. So there's a huge disparity, depending on who you speak to and what the person tells you. Okay.
But you see, this disparity it only exists in the media and the public space. At the table where they discuss the payments plan for
they know the figures.
Yes,
they know the figures.
There's no confusion about that figure.
Okay, so but the point actually is that as of the time the two parties agreed, right? And we know this. It was in the public.
This is January.
No, I'm not referring to the January conversation. The 2019 agreement,
right,
where Star Times were brought back as the broadcast rights holders of the competition. Because do not forget, during the normalization period, Star Times cancelled the deal.
Yeah.
Because initially it was a 10-year deal. There was no football during the normalization period. And in fact, at that time, they actually offered to pay the normalization committee and broadcast even the NC special competition. The committee then decided that no, they were going to engage GBC to do the commentary, to broadcast the matches for them. And they did that. When the FA came back, there was a conversation. That was a point, in fact, we were made to understand that MultiChoice were interested. We were told Star Times were interested. GBC too were interested. They all submitted bids for it, apart from MultiChoice. MultiChoice did not submit any bid for it. The FA had conversations with them, but the people were not that convinced, because from the previous agreement with the FA that ended in 2016, they were no longer getting subscriptions in the country. So it made absolutely no sense for them to buy the product, right? Star Times eventually were handed the broadcast rights. At the time, I'm not sure the dollar was even up to 7 Ghana cedis. It was about 5 Ghana cedis in 2019. The dollar only skyrocketed somewhere late 2022 into 2023.
Yeah.
Because, as you recall, in May 2022, when I was flying out of the country, a dollar was around between 6 and 7 Ghana cedis. So at the time the agreement was reached for Star Times to become the broadcast rights holders, a dollar was like 5 Ghana cedis. These two entities decided that, okay, we were not going to peg the dollar at a certain figure. And that is where I actually believe that either the FA outsmarted them, or Star Times did not anticipate the fact that the dollar was going to skyrocket at a certain point. So when the dollar shot up to like 15, 16 Ghana cedis, there was a conversation. The conversation was that at this point, Charlie, the dollar, no, it is running faster than Usain Bolt. So the way the figure is, we can't pay. So let's have a conversation. There was a conversation. Per my understanding, the FA actually insisted, or they wanted Star Times to pay them per the current exchange rate, which was around 15, 16 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Star Times said this one, dear, it was not possible, right? But the FA decided to engage. Let's have a conversation. And Eket will always tell you that when we engage, we'll reach a middle ground. So there were engagements. The engagements decided, okay, let's pay them about $900,000, right? Okay, there was a payment plan. That payment plan, per what I was made to understand, the first tranche of payment was supposed to come somewhere March. Unfortunately, Star Times did not pay in March. They never paid in April. At that point, per the figures that Star Times paid, the FA came back and told them that no, this your exchange rate where you take give us. It's not up to the amount we agreed to be the first tranche of payment. This was in April, right? And in fact, I was actually even told, sources claim that the FA even wrote to Star Times to let them understand that this these figures you've given to us, this was not where we agreed to be the first tranche of payment. So they still had issues. The FA and StarTimes still had issues with the exchange rate. In May, the FA released a statement saying that they were going to end, or they've ended negotiations with StarTimes about bringing them back as broadcast right holders of the competition. Because StarTimes, your first tranche of payment was not what we expected. But the point is this, you see, sometimes it's really difficult to, because even when you don't sit in the meetings, it's difficult for you to actually appreciate certain things. In 2021, April 2021 to be precise, the president of the Ghana Football Association, Keto Creek, he was seated here, far left. He praised StarTimes as the core investor in the game of football. Right? He thanked them for coming on board to invest in football. When such disagreements happen, sometimes diplomacy is extremely essential. Right? Yes, you've taken them to court. You are going to court to demand for your money. We saw it with Glow. We saw it with First Capital Plus, which later became Capital Bank and all that. But if you have an agreement with an entity, say StarTimes, that has paid you, from where I sit, about 80-90% of what you agreed to be the figures that you people went to the boardroom to discuss, and you are even going to drag each other in court. When the FA were dragging Glow to court, they were dragging Glow to court because of millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you reach an agreement for them to come back, I can understand the FA has members and they have responsibilities that they need to satisfy. But how do you give other corporate organizations the confidence to come on board and invest in the product?
Is it? You see, well, let me ask the question. Is it the amount they've gone to court over that you are in disagreement of?
Oh, yeah. That is where
$950,000 is not enough to go to court.
You see, you are having a negotiation with someone. You have an agreement for payment to be made in tranches, 3 separate tranches. The person makes first tranche. You feel that what the person has paid isn't up to what you agreed.
It's not a feeling; it's a matter of fact. That
it's a fact.
Yes.
That, you see, it's a feeling.
No, it's not a feeling.
No, it's a feeling because per the exchange rate that you put discuss. So let's say the exchange rate at the time we reached an agreement was even say 15 Ghana cedi.
Yes.
A dollar has now dropped to like 11, 12.
Yes.
Let's say they use the current exchange rate to make payment.
Yes.
You don't know. We agreed that you should pay 15 Ghana cedis. Now you are paying 11 cedis or 12 cedis. That is a disagreement over the exchange rate that you are making payment. So from where I sit, the FA could have simply, and they've already done it. I understand they wrote to StarTimes. The easiest thing to do was just write to StarTimes and tell them, oh, there's a disparity in what we agreed. They've done it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a disparity in what we agreed. So you need to top up this amount to meet the first tranche of payment whilst we wait for the second tranche of payment. Because they are in business. They are a business entity. You are also an organization that has responsibility towards hundreds of people that you need to satisfy. So when you reach an agreement and the payments are made, you'll be satisfied. If StarTimes comes back, right, assuming they came back, because in February, an ESCO member actually went on air and said that they were coming back for the second round of the season.
Yeah.
They were not able to come back simply because maybe they felt business-wise it wouldn't make sense to come in the middle of the season. Maybe if they had started the season where they will be able to sell their decoders and renew their subscriptions.
Pause there. You see, I get it. Let's decouple our appreciation of the difficulties they have from the facts of the case. That statement
Fact number one.
Yeah, that statement from Odro Safo was predicated on, or was contingent on, StarTimes making a financial commitment, clearing an aspect of the debts.
Yes.
That will become a condition for their return.
Okay.
So when Odro Safo said that, he was not lying. And
We all know
that agreement.
Remember, you and I had an extensive conversation on that.
The agreements they had with the FA did not include, if we're able to sell this number of decoders, then we'll come and pay you. The agreement was, we will pay.
No. I'm not sure you're getting my point.
I'm just saying
what
that.
I'm saying that maybe they thought business-wise coming in the middle of the season did not make sense, right? And I think they could have been very clear with the FA from the beginning, instead of letting an ESCO member go and radio state something, and in the end, people made it appear as though he lied. Because if you tell us that you are bringing back start times, February came to the end, March, April, the season ended, start times never showed up. People will be asking, did Oduro Safo lie? We actually wrote an article and even asked that question. Right? He didn't lie.
Yeah.
We knew the conversations that happened behind the scenes. But unfortunately, nothing was firmed up. From where I disagree with maybe Ellie when he spoke, was where he stated that there's an agreement. If it is not signed,
It's not.
it is not it, because any party
see,
can
also-
decide to walk away.
Also, there isn't even an agreement to start with, because you are already in court. You are being sued for the money you owe.
You've been dragged to court.
You don't have an out of court settlement agreement.
Yes.
For you to then even move to the point where, beyond that agreement to settle the debts, you have also found a separate agreement to return.
No. I don't know. But just maybe. Ellie was probably referring to the previous agreement that they had, that the FA did not sign.
Oh, Charlie.
No, you can give him the benefit of that for it.
Okay, yeah.
You can give him the
to be
benefit
fair,
of that.
To be fair, yeah.
Because if that was an agreement that they did not sign, it is clear that there was an agreement, but no one signed it.
But it no
but if
longer
nothing
holds.
is signed,
Yeah, I'm saying that you have to refer to it if that agreement still holds. That agreement was breached. It was discarded. The FA went to court. So unless there is a new agreement that we're not aware of, he cannot be referring to that agreement.
it is still it is still an agreement that was in place.
Okay.
No,
Let me come to.
actually, let me just wrap up with something.
Please do that in 30 seconds for me. I need to come to Sicho.
Okay. Maybe the FA is looking at alternatives. Just maybe. We have heard about some production houses that have been spoken to behind the scenes. Right. We've heard about multi-choice that also at a point were being considered. Multi-choice had a meeting. It didn't come up. And one of the things I was actually made to understand was that a huge investment into a product like the Ghana Premier League, when they had their retreat somewhere, I don't want to mention. If I mention, people will begin to say that the people in the meeting were those who were telling me. When they had their retreat, maybe the CEO or someone would have mentioned to them that, okay, we are going for a product Ghana Premier League.
Wrap up for me.
We cannot also forget about the fact that there was a conversation about Sporty coming on board, of which Sporty was advised against coming on board. If the FA looks out for all these alternatives, right, and they are not able to get it, and now you've muddied the waters that you have with Star Times, would you have the moral right to go and sit at the negotiation table?
Okay, thank you very much. Sicho, you've heard everything. You also have your own information about this. First of all, though, were you surprised by the Star Times announcement yesterday, and then the FA's reaction to that? Muftau fears that may soil or may roughen things up for them in the future if they have to go back to Star Times.
I don't think the FA wants to go back to Star Times. I think their posture is clear. But I don't think Star Times made an announcement that they had. What Star Times had said was that there was an agreement with the FA pending, or which was pending the signature from the FA.
Yeah.
And it is true that Star Times had renegotiated the deal with the FA. Documents had been exchanged. Beijing head office or HQ of Star Times had signed their part. The FA has to sign its part, and the FA had not signed. So an agreement is not one that is only in signature. right?
Yeah.
We can have an agreement in principle. We can have a verbal agreement. We can have an agreement in memos. We can have several agreements. But to make it formal and to get it into force, both signatures in such contracts must be applied. So for Star Times, they have signed their part. They forwarded the documents to the FA, and the FA has not signed. So when Star Times say that there's been an agreement between themselves and the FA, and the FA, what is left for the FA to do is to sign, it's not out of place. It's actually true from where I sit. And also, I know that Star Times and the FA are not at court. What the FA was trying to do was to seek clearance to be able to charge Star Times out of the jurisdiction. And I think that now, or somewhere a couple of weeks ago, they had that clearance to be able to sue Star Times, who are not in the jurisdiction, or sue the HQ. They are the ones they are dealing with, the mother company.
Yeah.
So I think now they have the clearance. As to whether they'll go in and do that, we will see. But the issue is, Star Times and the FA had agreed for Star Times to settle.
Since you're just a quick
Somebody-
I can state per the General Secretary of the FA that the FA is in court with Star Times.
Say again.
Per the General Secretary of the FA, they are in court with Star Times.
Well, they could be in court to seek clearance to sue them. Have they taken Star Times to court, and what's the case? That is what I'm looking at. And the FA have said so many things. One time, an ESCO member, high-ranking member of the FA, said Star Times were going to come back to broadcast the league. The next week, it was false. So I'm not. If Star Times and the FA are at court, that's a huge matter. We would know what they are at court for. I mean, people are at court for, and we know what the matter is. But we've known this. We've had this in the last 4 months. That Star Times and the FA are at court, but nobody has seen anything that has served Star Times and taking the FA taking Star Times to court.
Right.
So the General Secretary has said that. But what I know is they were in court seeking clearance to sue Star Times out of the jurisdiction. That also means they are in court. But have they then sued Star Times at court? And I don't think that for us, as I sit here or as I speak, they are not in court, right? And between now and whenever, that can very much change. My point is simple, that the FA last season had a disaster of a broadcast, right? And the FA was looking for people to come on board to broadcast the game and make it accessible to people. What has gone against Star Times, what is going against Star Times now is, and why I can understand the reason why the FA is not putting pen to paper on the new agreement is this. Look, the FA now know concretely that the government of Ghana is going to fund a production house to produce the Ghana Premier League. Then we can now talk about broadcast. Who broadcasts it? We don't know. But the FA now knows that it is very, very highly likely possible, or highly possible, that the government of Ghana funds a production of the Ghana Premier League. Now, when that happens, the FA is believing that it will go on free to air, which means a quality content on free to air platforms for all Ghanaians to watch without paying money to a broadcaster who is on a paid platform. So the FA is leaning towards that. And if the government is going to invest into production, it cannot be on a paid platform. Now, one of the reasons why the GFA needed Star Times was because Star Times had not only promised broadcasts, but Star Times had in fact promised equal amount of money in production. So Star Times will normally tell you they are paying 1 million to the FA as sponsorship for the broadcast deal, and they are investing 1 million as production money. So in this time, the FA is taking the production and then the broadcast from whoever, and are going to get the production money allegedly from government to a local production house. Then the broadcast can go on free to air. Now, if I'm the FA president and this revelations come to my table, and I've got an opportunity of securing a broadcast deal on a platform, and I get an opportunity of securing a broadcast deal perhaps on a free to air platform, in the current state of the Ghana Premier League, I think, look, I've worked with Star Times, I have friends there, they are like family, but I think I would go for the free to air platform, right? Considering the arrears, but the arrears are not the fault of Star Times. Look, several businesses across the world are owing plenty money because of these hikes in the currencies, in the high currencies.
Yeah.
The point is, even the clubs don't know the details of the deal between the FA and Star Times, right? And so you don't know. People say they didn't peg the dollar at what, they didn't peg the dollar. All of that's hearsay. We've not seen the contract. right? And so the reason why Star Times is owning the GFA is not necessarily because of the hike in the currency. It is also simply because the commodity Ghana Premier League wasn't sellable on a paid platform as Star Times projected. And just as Super Sports or MultiChoice learned when they had the gig, Star Times also realized that in a hard way, that the Ghana Premier League on the paid platform, because think about it, if the people were watching the Ghana Premier League on the platforms, the reflection in the dollar would have affected how much people were paying to watch the games, right? And people would have subscribed higher fees to see the games. But the point is, people were not even seeing the games as they had projected. So where were they going to make the money to pay the GFA back with those high exchange rates? Because you don't have the market for viewership. How are you going to charge the market to generate money to pay the FA? So I don't blame Star Times that they didn't make the money. Look, Star Times are running at big losses. They run at big losses. To be honest, I don't even know why they are chasing the league again. I think that it's because they've done massive investments. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, they've done massive investments over the years, and they want to see it out, or they want to see. You want to use the Ghana Premier League to still, sell their boxes and what have you. But when it comes to making profits out of production, look, they are using 1 million Ghana cedis to produce a season, the league throughout the season, and they are paying the FA 1 million Ghana cedis. That is $2 million US dollars, not Ghana cedis, $2 million US dollars in a year. How are they going to make that money back from production and broadcast? So yeah, I get why the FA is leaning towards the new opportunity, and I get why Star Times want to come back into the fore, because as we know, just like every paid TV platform, football is at the heart of subscribers. All right. So we see MultiChoice, they go big on big leagues. We see Star Times, they are going big on local leagues in the countries in which they are. We see what they are doing in Nigeria. We see what they are doing in other parts of the world. It's exactly what they want to do in Ghana. But I think for the FA president to come on social media and say that an agreement has been made pending the signature of the FA, for him to come and say it is false, it's not necessarily the true picture. But what that means for me is that it's game over for Star Times and the FA.
Yeah. But the only distinction I would want to give is that, you see, that agreement that Star Times keep referencing, it was conditioned on they making steps to clear the debts. So both of them agreed that we are not moving past the debts. Yes, we have an agreement for you to return, but for that to be actionable, you need to pay part of the debts. Like, we have various tranches that we have agreed that you will pay. That is why my position on this is this: that agreement, the moment that agreement was breached, it no longer holds, because there was a very clear condition that both parties agreed on, that yes, there is an agreement for you to return. The condition is you are paying in these tranches and you will pay by this time. The first one came, the FA wrote to them, and here's the thing: if Star Times felt that there had been a misunderstanding or a miscommunication of the terms as agreed, when they got the FA letter, they would have sought to clarify that, even if not to pay the difference. But their immediate steps would have been to seek to clarify and come to an understanding, because at that point, what you are both interested in is a resolution of that misunderstanding. No be so. So at that point, once you receive the letter, irrespective of the language and the threat of going to court or all of that, what you would have been interested in is to clarify this. Because if both of you came to an agreement on what exactly was agreed, right, and why you are paying a figure that the FA now doesn't believe reflects the earlier agreements, they will come to the table, because in the end, it's their money they are looking for. Look, from what the conversations I had last night, their actions in court is not over some malpractice or some. It is specifically to recover the money.
Yes, but that has always been.
Yeah, it is specifically to recover the money. That's about from what, just as Sichu hinted, and that's some really good intel from Sichu. There has been productions, and I think they have moved away from Star Times. There have been conversations for a different production.
Those things here. Those things here.
I'm not saying it is set in stone. I'm saying that they have made progress to that side, and that's how come they are behaving the way they
Remember,
are. Let's head to the Tama Community 7 traffic light, off the KFC Road where the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is currently taking place. Yeah, and join Akofa and the rest of the team and find out what exactly is going on. Akofa, if you can hear me, just
you lived abroad.
Okay, I think Akofa is not on the line, but we'll try and get her back on the line to bring us up to speed with the Joy News Habitat Fair. It's important that you also get to learn enough about this and understand just what's going on at the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair and make smarter choices about anything you want to purchase. If it's a home, if it's furniture, if it's a car, whatever it is, there are always better, more financially flexible agreements that are more favorable to your pocket, right? That you can be part of and enjoy. Speaking of that, there's also huge savings ahead of the Electroland Media Clearance Bazaar. So Samsung, TCL, Media, NASCO, all on massive discount. So from the 31st of July to August 3rd, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Spintex near the Coca-Cola roundabout. There are LED TVs from as low as 799 cedis, refrigerators going for 1,200 cedis, washing machines for 1,199 cedis plus many more. So make your choice from a mix of brand new display and even scratch and dent items with all warranty still applied. It's the Fala discount you've been waiting for. Electroland Media Clearance Bazaar. T's and C's apply. Spintex Road near Coca-Cola roundabout is where it's taking place. Call them on 0503 159 739 and make sure you don't miss out on this. Look, August 9, we're all going to the Joy Sports Invitational tournament. Already, the Chief of Staff of Ghana, Julius Debra, he has endorsed the event, and when he made that call, quite a number of organizations have already responded. Sawena No, Embigo Ghana, just today, Star Assurance, Omnibasic, NIA, yeah, yes. a lot of them are coming for the Joy Sports Invitational. Safoda, make sure you call Slevin on 0540-106-466 and let him register you for the Joy Sports Invitational.
But Arsenal have done some really good business. In fact, the top four have done some really good business. City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. It's next season.
But Chelsea really got their business done very early.
Daniel Arteta, was it after the Champions League exit? He said this is going to be the most significant summer in his time at the club. Would you say Arsenal have backed him appropriately?
Oh, they have, and it's not just about the money spent. It's about the
who they spend.
Who they spend the money on, the positions they've strengthened also. It was in as much as they've lost quality in that CDM role with Jorginho and the Ghanaian leaving.
Yeah.
I think they've replaced it really well. Zubidu is very capable. Zubimendi is very, very capable. I really like him as a player. Norgard himself, also a really good option. Look, if you look at the way Brentford have played, you can look at. Why did he laugh? Come on for that. If you look at the way.
Sicho, we want to hear you, Sicho. We want to hear you.
If you look at the way.
Dadike is a very foolish boy. Somebody has named the son Zubimendi. They call him Zubidu. But they name him Zubidu.
But the song, but you
this is Zubidu.
No, the guy is Zubidu. That's it. That's his Nicky on the red side.
So you say Zubi.
Yeah, Zubidu. That song is Liverpool fans who did the thing for him, but we like it, so we've taken it.
Oh, jolly.
But yeah, I think if you look at Norgard, you look at Zubimendi, really good options to have, and they are very reliable options also. Norgard is Premier League proven. He's done it in the Premier League. Really good. He's a 7/10 player. He will give you a certain level of consistency. Zubimendi obviously will be the starter, but you always want your backup to be able to come in and hit the ground running, do the job when the main guy is not around. And in the other positions too, the likes of Madueke and co. Look, Madueke, he has been playing for Chelsea. He started like 33 games last season. So he's not a small player. Yeah, he's annoying, he's frustrating, but he still has some learning to do. He still has
perhaps
some
in a better environment.
Exactly, and Arsenal have some experience around the team. He doesn't need to come in and hit the ground running giddy. Like they are not overly dependent on him. So he can take his time and slowly warm himself into the team. So for me, I like the business. I like the business that Arteta's has done. And this Gyökeres deal, if what he and I have been talking about is what he's going to do, then I think...
What have you been talking about?
No, how we can use Gyökeres to unlock Havertz. Because...
he's locked.
Havertz
is locked.
You this guy.
See... You
wait.
Havertz the ball.
So the 65 million pounds needed a 55 million pound lock.
Of course. Why? You the joke. If a padlock is locked,
But who locked Havertz?
I say if you buy a padlock with a padlock lock, you know they find the key. Which one becomes a priority?
The key.
The key becomes a priority. So the key will go first.
But you people didn't tell us that Havertz all along was locked.
We don't need to tell you anything.
How do we know?
Havertz has never been a number 9.
Okay.
He has never been a number 9. The Havertz that Chelsea saw and they went to spend that 70+ million euros on was a half 9 off the striker, second striker, arriving late, very intelligent, could drop deep, lobbing passes, link up play, sort of striker. The brief time when Tuchel was there, we saw glimpses of that Havertz that went to win the Champions League. Yes, but he's not had that environment. So now there's a recognized striker. Maybe we can option Champions League, Premier League, some games. We can play him off Gyökeres.
So how do we know that a few months from now you won't come and tell us that you need another key to unlock Gyökeres as well?
Gyökeres doesn't need key. He just needs the chances, and the chances will come. You score.
I know.
See, if you joke, the first day, if you joke on the first day, you
no. You see, someone said something. Arsenal will sign all their targets, but at the end of the season, will they leave something?
Sicho, and that's the aspect of the conversation. Now,
why are you taking that aspect of the conversation to Sicho?
Are you the host?
Why are you taking that?
Are you the host?
You see,
you
see what you are doing.
Are you the host? Are you the host?
Okay.
Do you have an agenda against Arsenal?
He's Arteta's chief advocate. That's
no wonder they went for Zubi.
That's why. Sicho, today we are now learning that all along, Kai Havertz needed a key to unlock him. We know more. But Arteta said this was supposed to be the most significant summer as far as transfer windows are concerned for him. Arsenal have backed him. Now, what should be the acceptable return on investment?
I think what Arsenal need to do in this season is just to win anything. Listen, Arsenal shouldn't take winning anything at all for granted, even if it means they are winning the Carabao Cup. Because as even though they've improved their squad and the squad looks, Arsenal's team hit a certain level that you think that they might not be able to improve again. But what we knew was if they had a striker, it could take them to another level. And now they've got the striker. It doesn't always work that way, but for their sake, I hope it does work. Now, Arteta needs to prioritize winning anything, just something, right? The FA Cup. Because what is good, and Danny has said a lot about having a big squad to go out there and compete in all the competitions. What Arsenal have done this season now is to get almost a B team good enough to go through these cup competitions without any hiccups. So when you look at even in the midfield, Merino might not be starting games, but in the cup games, he could be starting alongside Norgard and Iwaneri, Madueke. They could have a Trossard, and they could have a Kai Havertz. So think about it. If Kai Havertz is not starting the games in the Premier League, yet in a cup game, last season he was starting for them. This season he will be starting the cup game. That is strength in squad that they've got, right? And so once they've got a good team, Arteta should be able to play around the squad to get them through the cups, to get them into finals. They barely play finals even. To get them into finals and hopefully win something. If Arteta goes trophyless this season, he would have run out of excuses.
I see. Okay, now let's move the conversation from Arsenal and Arteta to Liverpool. Charlie, me this morning after I saw the Fabrizio updates, FIFA needs to intervene because you can't allow Liverpool with. So what? Now they've signed Jeremy Frimpong, then Milos Kilos, the left back. Kekis, yes. Me, I call him Milos Kilos. They've signed Milos Kilos. They've added Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, and now Alex Isak has told Newcastle that the only team he wants to play for is Liverpool. Daniel Granting, it looks like Liverpool are assembling a squad for something bigger than just the Premier League.
I like it. I like this sort of ruthlessness. You are champions, but you still recognize that you need to beef up the squad, and they are not satisfied.
And go big.
Look, last season that Champions League team that PSG, it paid them.
It paid them. The staff and Slot was saying after the press conference was
it paid them rough. And you see, when you are a big team, it has to pain you.
Yeah.
It has to pain, it has to pain you. You need to come back stronger, and that's exactly what Liverpool are doing. Liverpool are building a squad that is capable of winning everything.
Yeah.
And last season they could have done it too. Like low key, high key. Liverpool, like they could have done it. It was a penalty shootout loss against. That path had opened up nicely.
Yeah.
Aston Villa over 2 legs.
Like them go eat them.
Arsenal over 2 legs. Liverpool fancy themselves. You get me? That final against Inter Milan, like
Anything
I will eat them till you talk for the head.
You see what? You see, I know you himself.
Is it you repeat what you said?
I said that they go eat them, they go eat them. They talk for air this afternoon. You know, not 3 o'clock, so they go eat them, they go eat them.
Yes, sir. But you see, you're repeating it.
You know, be serious.
I don't draw your attention.
Okay.
You know, be serious.
I will say it again.
No, but you see, I like it. I like exactly what Liverpool are doing.
Yeah.
And you see, somebody like Ekitike, he the map guy. My player from since that FM coach, the FM coach, the one who was coaching Rams, he bring Ekitike, he the my guy. So we've been trading notes since. And Ekitike's profile, don't look at the price tag. I'm not looking at the price tag. I don't care about the price tag. This is 2025 transfer window market. So some of these things, they will happen. But he's on a very good trajectory. And the Isak we are all praying today, Isak was like Ekitike when he was coming to the Premier League. Very similar. The numbers, the metrics, everything be very, very, very similar. But in a team like Liverpool, although his price tag is high, he's not even a guarantee starter. That's the first thing. Second, even if he's starting games, the pressure is not on him to bang 25 goals. There's the boss himself on his side, Mo Salah. Last season, Luis Diaz banged 15 goals. So if you can also chip in some 12, 15 your first 2-3 seasons or your first 2 seasons, you are doing good. Then when Salah leaves, by that time he would have matured into the squad, matured into the position, and can now start giving much better returns. 25, 30 goals. So for me, it's a really good signing. And you see, he's a sort of player that if you wait in the Bundesliga, he's always going to get better.
Yeah. And
he'll get more expensive and more suitors will come. So Liverpool have now plugged him early. And you see, this is a team that was in top 5 chance creation last season. They create. Then they've added one of the best creative midfielders in Europe in Florian Wirtz into the team. So more chances. They've replaced Trent with Jeremy Frimpong, another very offensive right fullback. Very offensive. He's quick. His crossing is not as good as Trent. But if you see him on the flank, you think he's a winger. He has the pace to go past anybody. So they've built the Kerkis. We saw him in the Premier League last season.
Flying fullback.
And Liverpool last season had a serious weakness at left back. It was a system that was saving Robertson. So they've really strengthened areas that for years we've been saying they should strengthen. It's left with the centre backs. But even that one safe. The way the team is set up now, they can easily go and defend their title. They are that good. But I think they are watching that Champions League. Because for PSG to win Champions League, everybody needs to sit back and look
also
at their
the other thing that I think I said this a couple of weeks back is that Liverpool see a power vacuum in Europe.
Yeah.
No one knows how Madrid's rebuild, how long it will take, and when they'll be competitive again. Apart from Madrid aside, the only team perhaps standing their way will be 2 of the semi-finalists from last year, PSG and then Barca. Inter are looking some way with all of the exits. So, look, if they look sharp, it may not be next season.
Man City themselves are
exactly. It may not be next season, but Liverpool could actually win the Champions League very soon. But
Aju,
yeah, Siju, I'll come to you in a moment. Betway
Okay.
Scratch and Win is back with the bank, a whopping 9 million Ghana cedis prizes ranging from cash, free spins, free flights, and more for grabs from the 1st to the 31st of July this year. And you need to take part simply by logging on to betway.com.gh, bet on sports or casino, and you get your daily scratch card from there. It's just scratch, match, and win, with every day being another chance to strike it lucky. Only at betway.com.gh today. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, bet responsibly, get way more. Now, let me tell you that the finals of the 2025 University of Ghana Corporate Football League is happening today at 5 p.m. Yeah, at 5 p.m. So make sure you pass by. The third place match is between National Petroleum Authority and the Ghana Armed Forces Officers Sports Club, and then the final itself is between the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority and Union Ghana. Sicho, in 3 minutes, talk to me about Liverpool's new look squad and what you think should be the minimum they should deliver next time.
Well, Liverpool should be defending the title and they should be going as far as possible in the Champions League. The only thing that, when it comes to the Champions League, it always keeps throwing surprises unless it's Real Madrid getting into the final. But I think what Liverpool are trying to do is they've seen now that their biggest competitor in the league in Man City are rebuilding. Nobody knows how their rebuild is going to go. So Liverpool has seen an opportunity of sustaining a certain level of success in England. So while City are now going to rebuild under Pep Guardiola, they are going to strengthen. So City are not strengthening; they are rebuilding because Kevin De Bruyne has left. Some players, Gundogan is not going to play a big part from next season. We understand.
The goalkeeper.
We are not too sure. So there are many players at City who are key part of the team who are moving on or will see less games. So they are rebuilding. Liverpool now have got a very good squad and they are strengthening. But what they are, look, we all tease them. Social media is banter. I get it. I play a part of it. Coutinho money, all of that. But for the purpose of education, let me just tell you, Liverpool or several other teams are capable of spending big this summer because the PSR FFP window ended with last season. Remember, PSR and FFP are calculated in 3-year cycles. The current cycle ended with the end of last season and is starting with the start of this season. Now in PSR, no club is allowed to lose money over the 3 years over 105 million pounds. Now that is 35 million a season. So Liverpool can spend on young Ekitike, young Isak, young Florian Wirtz, good age Frimpong, good age Kirkis this summer, and in the next summer or the next 2 summers they are not going as big. So we see what City are doing. They spent big in this summer, but maybe next summer, next 2 summers they are not going as big because the FFP would have been calculated into the 3rd season. So Liverpool are spending on young quality players, knowing that next season, next 2 seasons, they still have enough quality in the squad to keep them going through that period, so that they might not have to spend the big money they are spending this summer, next summer. So what they are doing is doable. What they are doing is, I think, is correct. I've not seen their books, but when understanding the way understand the PSR and the FFP, Liverpool are within their right to spend the amount of money they are spending and on the profile of players they are spending on. So barest minimum, defend the title and go for the Champions League and sustain the dominance in the Premier League like City did when they won 5 times in 6 years.
Thank you very much, Sicho, for the word on Liverpool, their finances, and the squad that that level of financial comfort is giving them. Before we go, though, we need to speak to our friends from the OMG Soccer Fest 2025 because on the 25th of June, they are going to launch in colorful manner the OMG Soccer Fest. That's when they launched it. I beg your pardon, because June is already gone past that. They launched it under the theme Harnessing Talents for a Sustainable National Development. Ellis from OMG is here to help me have that conversation. Hi, Ellis. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, excellent to have you in our studio.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of us don't know anything about OMG Soccer Fest. Tell us about what it is.
Okay, OMG Soccer Fest Festival. This is our 3rd season.
Yeah.
It's a football tournament that we are organizing in rural communities,
right,
that we are using to harness natural talent into our future Ghana Premier League or Division 1 League, or maybe the next Kudus or the next Thomas Partey in our football fraternity. So OMG Soccer Fest, this is our third season. The first season we did in 2023, 2024, second, and 2025 is our third season this year.
So where exactly is this competition taking place?
Okay, this competition, always we have been organizing it at Okwapmai Traditional Council, specifically Okwapmai South Traditional Council. That is Okwapmai Traditional Municipality. That is Ebri. So this year the whole city is Obodine, one of the communities in Ebri, Obodine. That's where we are organizing it at.
Is it a youth competition? What are the age categories, if that is what it is? Or
okay, since that we are trying to grow natural talent into our next football fraternity, the age limit starts from 18 years to 23 years. 18 years to 23 years.
Is it a competition that you've invited scouts for? Those of people who are looking to find the next Kudus, as you say, can also pass through, and then perhaps sports identify some talents?
Thank you very much for this question. The first edition that we did, we invited scouts all over from Ghana specifically, that most of the players that were scouted are playing in the Premier League, especially the Hearts of Lions. And the second edition too, we went further to bring scouts from Europe and America. So it's in the US. That the footballer of the year is in the US Major Soccer League. This year we have scouts coming from Turkey, and also that is Daniel Frimpong, who is in the US now and is trying to do a lot of trials to be selected. This year a lot of people from Turkey and Netherlands are interested, that they are coming down to check out for footballers, new talent in Equiapim South. If you look at Equiapim South, there is no much job opportunity there, and in the football, the people who are also interested in playing football too, there is no future or hope for them. So we have decided to organize community soccer league, and we don't want to always leave it to the Black Stars players. Always the time when they come back, and they'll do it like to support their people in their communities. When you see when Kudus came back, he did same thing. Thomas Partey did the same thing. We can't always not leave all these things to the Black Stars. But when
is this happening?
This happening at 1st August, 2nd and 3rd August. It's a 3 days football tournament going on, announcing natural talent for our people.
All right. Thank you very much, Ellis, for coming. That's all time will permit us, but make sure you go and check it out in Ebri, the OMG Soccer Fest 3-day competition. Sisho, you wanted to say something?
Ellis,
my brother, Sisho. We went to the same secondary school together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great to have you, and we'll be there. We'll be there to support you for that event. And that's all time will permit us on Game Plan. My name is Victor Achita Maklu. Thank you for joining.